What's up, boys? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over a matte hair clay 101 course with you guys, giving you guys the do's and don'ts of a matte hair clay. So let's get into it. Alright fellas, so this is going to be the first video in a series that I'm going to be doing about hair products and how to use them, when to use them, that sort of thing. So matte clays, hair pastes, waxes, pomades, things like that. So this is going to be the first video in this series, and that is the matte clays. So starting off, guys, matte clays are a fairly new product on the hair product market. They're not very old. I've tried to do some research on them to figure out exactly when they were introduced, but couldn't really find too much on that subject. But I do know that they are fairly new. They are not something that's been around as old as like a traditional pomade or even hairspray or something like that. So what makes a hair clay unique? It's the fact that it uses a clay, guys. And a lot of them use a natural clay, usually a volcanic ash kind of clay, which is actually very beneficial to the hair, guys. It can help soften the hair and gives a few more cleansing properties to the hair. So a matte clay, other than it being a hair styling product, it actually has a little bit of health benefits to your hair as well. So I think it would be a good idea to keep a hair clay around, even if you're trying to just give your hair a break from like traditional oil-based pomades. Now, the best time to use a matte clay, guys, is going to be for more natural, easygoing hairstyles and textured hairstyles as well. Something that you want, something like a medium texture to, something that is going to be, you know, something that you can still run your fingers through. This stuff stays pliable throughout the day. It doesn't harden up, doesn't crust up in the hair, nothing like that. So a hair palm or a hair clay would be very good for those kind of days. Now, I also, upon using this stuff in the barbershop, I use it all the time for clients and stuff like that. I have found that it is actually really good for all hair types and hair textures, and honestly, all lengths of hair, even hair as long as mine. I even sometimes use a hair clay in my hair to give me a little bit more control, because again, it doesn't harden up in the hair. It's very light in the hair if you use it correctly. A little of this stuff goes a very long way, guys. So I like to use it a lot of times for pre-blow drying something, or pre-blow drying a hairstyle. Put it in when it's damp. And work it through, blow dry it, and it gives you that nice finished textured look. And I find that it does give a little bit of volume in the hair when I use it with a blow dryer. So I really like a hair clay for that that application, for like a pre-blow drying kind of I don't know, styling product. Now, what I have found that a lot of guys are having a hard time understanding about this stuff is the application of it and how to really work it into the hair. It can be a little bit tricky because sometimes it does not want to break down in your hands that much or that easily as other hair products. And some guys I see end up having clumps, you know, distributed throughout the hair. So what I would recommend, guys, when you're using a hair clay is to really break it down and emulsify it in your hands. If you're using it in damp hair, put it in your hair like you're washing your hair, guys. Make sure you guys are getting it fully coated. Smear it around. Don't just grab some, put it on the top of your hair, and then comb it in. You're going to get clumps in the hair. It's going to not distribute evenly into your hair, and it's just not going to be beneficial for you in the long run. So make sure you're breaking it down fully before you're putting this stuff in. And I would suggest also brushing your hair through once just to make sure it's evenly distributed. That way you avoid that clumping disaster that I see a lot of guys coming into contact with a hair clay. Now, upon opening this stuff up, guys, there are a lot on the market. Like I said, they're a fairly new product, but there are still a lot to choose from. And a lot of them range in consistency and holds. So like this Roussel one, they're a clay matte pomade. It is a very creamy consistency for a clay. Very good medium hold kind of clay. Really good for even hair as long as mine. Easier to use than like a different harder clay. So there are different consistencies between them all. So like that one is a little bit more creamy. The cement clay from Layrite is a little bit more tacky and hard and a little bit harder to work with. This is the kind of stuff that will clump up in your hair. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit easier to use and also that's going to be more for a natural whatever kind of look, I would go with a lighter holding clay as opposed to a stronger holding clay, which is going to be very good for a really well done up textured style that you don't want moving anywhere, guys. So there is a difference between hold, so make sure before you buy any of this stuff, a matte clay, you know exactly which one you're getting and the hold that it provides, especially with the consistency, because like I said, some are creamy, some are a little bit more hard and tacky. So be wary of what you're really buying and make sure that you know exactly what you're going to be using this stuff for. Again, great for all hair types, great for any hair texture, textured looks, loose pompadours, loose side parts, just any kind of natural finish hairstyle that you want to achieve, a matte clay will be great for. Also, the benefits of it having clay and the health properties for it are a plus in my book, so I would recommend keeping one of these around just for that purpose. Also, guys, a matte hair clay is also water soluble, so you don't have to worry about it building up in your hair. Now, if you don't wash your hair, obviously it's going to build up in there, but if you just want to give your hair a quick rinse, this stuff will wash out. It's water soluble. Don't have to worry about anything like that if that is something that you are worried about, especially with like traditional oil baseds. So matte clays, really easy to wash out. Another question that I get a lot from clients, guys, is what is the difference between a matte clay and a matte paste? Okay, so we're going to be going over what a matte paste is really good for, but the main difference between a matte paste and a clay basically is the hold, guys. In my opinion, a matte paste is a little bit more higher hold, and also a matte paste gives you way more texture than a matte clay. Those are the two biggest differences in my book when it comes to a matte paste and a matte clay. Is the high texture you get from a paste and also the high hold that you get from a paste. And also a paste, in my opinion, is a little bit harder to work with than a clay, okay? So those are the two biggest differences, or a couple of differences that I would say between a matte clay and a matte paste. So if you guys were wondering about that, those are the biggest differences. So again, guys, matte clays are great. I would highly recommend keeping some on hand and on deck. That way, when you're not feeling like really styling your hair, you can just throw some of this stuff in, guys, and give you that natural, just whatever kind of look. Really good for that matte shine. Pretty easy to work with. Some health benefits, like I said. So matte clays are a must-have in my opinion. Be sure to check out my Amazon store, guys. I'm going to have links to some of these products down in there. I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do get a kickback if you purchase anything through the links down in the description. But check out that Amazon store, guys. There's clays, pomades. I have men's grooming stuff, a bunch of stuff on there that I have personally used and checked out and that I like. So be sure to check out the Amazon store. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, like the video, guys. It will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And be sure to share the video, all that stuff, man. If you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, be sure to leave a comment down below, especially when it pertains to the matte clays, guys. Any questions or any things that you think that I missed out on, leave them down in the description below, your experiences, things like that, maybe even your favorite matte clays. That way you can give some recommendations for guys who are looking for different products. Leave those down in the comments below. But right on, guys, that's going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.